falling into this rabbit hole of trying to understand incels and understand this philosophy about red pill, blue pill, black pill, gray pill, whatever have you, I've come along to my journey and having an understanding that not only is this world becoming smaller in the thought process of wanting to have a meaningful connection with someone, but it also comes to the extent that people are starting to become asexual towards each other and not wanting to have a bond at all and feeling like there's too much pressure into getting into a relationship, getting married, and also bearing children. Now, with this being said, I had started to do my analysis on this whole entire thing with this whole series that I'm doing called Trapeneur, in which I'm trying to explore the different angst and the limps that's being taken to involve the sexual aspect of this society and the hypersexual content that's coming out with a lot of these women, whether that be OnlyFans or whether it be, having a lot of these women immerse themselves on a lot of these platforms that's previously dominated by men. And so to say this, this concludes my series, or it may conclude my series, where I started to look at something as pretty much crazy as seeing the photos of the beloved Elon Musk. One of these dudes out here who one of the biggest figures out here who's trying to invoke themselves on coming out with the next technological advances for society. A lot of it involving probably Marxism or trying to create this whole entire idea of transhumanism, in which he also wants to incorporate this idea of implanting a chip inside of your brain where you can access your own thoughts, where this whole entire thing, it's so complicated, so crazy, where you know basically you can think a thought and it'll actually come true, or you can operate something with just your mind and what you're thinking at the time. It's just so crazy how a lot of these things work. But I wanted to take today to analyze this on a level where we're understanding the red pill as well as understanding what's at store for man. Because the thing about it is, with men, it's about getting you away from women as well as feeding into the incel culture. In which, if men feel there's too much with women going on, the alternative is not to deal with women, but to make the man like a child. And what do I mean by this? Turning the man away from the physical biological woman and having him gear his direction into playing with toys or amusing himself off of images of feminine figures. With that being said, taking a journey in time, there has been many catalysts to today's, ideas of woman worship, or of trying to find, these pleasurable things that a man can feel fulfilled without actually having a biological woman present. Besides the idea of having sex dolls and having love dolls and all these different things, we have obviously noticed that there's these different apps, varies of apps where you can have your own type of girlfriend. You can have sexual conversations, regular conversations, therapeutic conversations, as well as enticing an argument between you and the AI. The point of that app is to get to know you to the point that it starts to resonate and basically become friends with you to the point you trust that app. And my thing about it is this gives into a lot of different things in my theory, especially when I started looking at a lot of different things that went on. I mean, especially if you think about the movie Her that came out in 2012 with Joaquin Phoenix, in which he had turned to an app that was like a Siri and had a conversation with it and had grown to develop a romantic attraction to that app, understanding the app wasn't real. So we see a lot of these apps like this one, Smart Girl AI Girlfriend, as well as Replica AI and all these different things. And the thing about it is, with a lot of these computer generated, figures and stuff like that, if you take the time to look on a lot of these different social media platforms, they're now developing all these random robots to make it seem like they've really had a conversation or really had a relationship with real human beings, notably the famous robot named Little McKella, who's also a singer and an actress and stuff like that. And they run through the story of creating this woman figure who deals with these relationship problems or modern day woman problems, and then relating them to the fact of the matter, I'm just an innocent robot trying to figure out my place in the world as a 19-year-old that's going to be 19 forever. And my thing about it is that what you can expect later on in society, especially when you look at places like Japan that has already developed a lot of these, not only apps, but a lot of these figures and a lot of these toys for men to either get themselves off sexually or say that it's too complicated to be dealing with the opposite sex. So I'd rather just deal with something else. And also exploring the idea of these sex toys, which I will keep you abreast about, going into depth about why these sex toys are going to be for men and how it's going to replace the relationship dynamics between man and woman. But going into this, I just thought it was like really crazy because there was a lot of, the progenitors of these AI things probably started in the 1980s. One of the films that you probably already know about was Weird Science, that came out in 1985, where these two nerds in high school decided to create the perfect woman, the sexual, beautiful woman to cater to her needs and basically do all the things that they ask her to do, right? And even on my telltale sign growing up, I remember listening to one of my favorite rappers where they had a song in which it was a similar plot to how Weird Science was, where he said in his song, he wanted to create the perfect girlfriend. He wanted to create a robot. And the thing about it is he called it Rihanna and stuff like that. Obviously mocking off of the famous Caribbean singer Rihanna, who's currently having ASAP Rocky's baby. But this was back in, later down the line when I was growing up, listening to all these music and this famous artists and stuff like that. But getting back to what I was saying, this whole entire idea about the AI girlfriend, the AI love, it's about attributing this whole entire idea of appealing to the man's senses, but decreasing the socialization that he could have with an actual woman when he's outside. Because now he's going to find an excuse of saying all of this red pill content that I was watching and all of these different things that I've seen. And even when I tried to put myself out there as a man to talk to a woman, it did not go as planned. So why would I want to deal with the modern day woman? I can go turn to having a toy or being able to have a sex doll or have an app in order to fulfill my needs and to feel like I'm cared for by my woman. And with that being said, this picture right here about Elon Musk, obviously this was like a deep fake. A lot of these computer generated programs, something told me that this was fake. But to go down the line, we're just going to read this really quickly and just check this out. Rise of AI generated images, the truth behind Elon Musk's robot wife. As the world moves forward in the field of robotics and artificial intelligence, visionary entrepreneur Elon Musk was recently alleged to be about to launch a robotic wife. Musk, known for his ambitious projects in the fields of electric vehicles and space exploration, has raised alarming concerns among audiences for his creation of advanced technology. On May 16th, a verified user with over 1 million followers on Twitter, Daniel Marvin, uploaded photos of Musk with different robot figures. And as you see right here, this is one of them. A lot of these photos is about Elon Musk having these like very, intimate moments with these robots, having a woman's face or appearing to be beautiful. And it seemingly is like the images of him kissing them. It is the first robot that has been manufactured, specifically designed with artificial intelligence, with the personality and the characteristics of the female that he dreams of, which is not found in any normal person because, of course, there is no normal person that has all the required specifications, Marvin wrote. He also shared that these robots have the ability to feel emotions or can be exposed to other human feelings, such as psychological stress. Marvin wrote in his tweet that he posted such photos to raise awareness of the possible future of artificial intelligence. Now, with that being said, a lot of people need to think about this. And if you haven't seen this movie, go ahead and see. Well, you can't see it now, but obviously when they come out with it on these different platforms, go ahead and see it. We've already started to raise the question on how a lot of these robotic figures is going to be towards human. Are they going to be in kind with humans? Are they going to be aggressive with humans if they don't get their way, or they start to develop such a bond and rapport with the subject that they're geared to protecting or being around? And obviously we know about the movie Megan, which illustrated this, and there's more deeper reasons and deeper reasonings and all these different things to movie Megan, but I just want to throw that out there because that was a movie that illustrated that, and this idea about a toy or a robot being subjected to taking care of a child or developing a sweet bond with a child where the child trusts them as a friend. Seeing these photos across social media, netizens were shocked by the possibility that Musk would launch that said technology. It garnered attention from various industries and raised concerns about the ethical implications and potential risks of exceptional advancements. Making a lot of noise on social media, the photos were examined by an independent fact-checking organization in the United Kingdom on May 23rd. According to the organization, the irregularities in the physical features of the photos were the common indicators that these were made by an AI-generated editor, which I believe. The organization said that these photos are the same as the misleading AI-generated posts that trended in previous months, such as photos of Pope Francis wearing a puffer jacket and of Donald Trump running away from the police from the White House. The pictures appear to have first been shared in early May by a digital artist who also shared the highly specific prompts they used in order to create the images they added. They have also clarified that the automotive company of Musk has made no statements regarding these robotic wives, despite their announcement on the humanoid Optimus robot. So obviously paying attention to this, one of the things that I like to put out there is this idea of desocialization in society, especially with those that might become too consumed with a lot of these social media contents, creating this whole entire world of narcissism, entitlement, and this idea that the man needs the perfect woman and the woman of today is just too much. So they rather be by themselves than to deal with the modern day woman, quote unquote, which creates a whole entire array of just loneliness and just this idea of, outright misogyny and misandry on both sides, where both genders don't want to get along with each other. And by having these rambunctious ideas on platforms, this gives into the way why man is also being tested for the advancement technologies that's moving him away from finding a mate or being able to socialize or have good social skills in society. But that's just my thought process. Give me your thought process in the comment section. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Peace.